So we're just finding a comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall, relaxing the shoulders down the back. You can keep a soft gaze or gently close the eyes. Finding yourself rested here. Letting go everything that came before and allowing yourself to just be comfortable in this present moment. We'll start to do an Ujjayi breathing. Ujjayi breathing is this slight constriction in the back of the throat. So we'll do it like this by breathing in through the nose. And then as you breathe out, open the mouth and almost like you're fogging up a mirror, make this ha sound. So try that again. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out, open the mouth. This time, same thing, but close the mouth. So breathe in through the nose. And make that ha sound with the mouth closed. So that's the actual Ujjayi breath, is when you have that mouth closed, but you're constricting the back of the throat in order to breathe out. This is really great for the respiratory. So breathing in through the nose. Breathe out. So try to just keep breathing like that. Allow your breaths to be slow and relaxed. And then I have something I wanted to read. So this is by Eckhart Tolle. It's called The Beginning of Freedom. The beginning of freedom is the realization that you are not your mind, the thinker. Knowing this enables you to observe entity. The moment you start watching the thinker, a higher level of consciousness becomes activated. You then begin to realize that there is a vast realm of intelligence beyond thought. That thought is only a tiny aspect of that intelligence. You only realize that all the things that truly matter, beauty, love, creativity, joy, inner peace, arise from beyond the mind. You begin to awaken. So allow your breath to awaken that freedom that lives within you, this inner peace that we all have. Often our minds are so busy that we forget to just be. So allow this Ujjayi breath, feel free to keep using that throughout class, to bring you back to the sense of just you. Something for your mind to focus on. Please bring your hands to heart center. We'll begin class with one round of Om. Feel free to join in or just listen. Om being the sounds ah, o, and So taking a deep breath in, filling your belly up with air. Allow the breath to move through the body. Allow the sound of Om to vibrate through. And then gently blink open the eyes, taking in what's right in front of you, this present moment. And then you can bring the hands down to the thighs. And then we'll take the left hand over to the left side. I'm not sure if I mirror you guys here or not. Let's see, it looks like so maybe. I don't know how it goes in yours. But left hand to the left side, reach the right hand up and over your head. So we're doing a nice big side body stretch on the right side. As you breathe in, take both hands up overhead. Breathe out, take the right hand to the right side. Left hand comes up and overhead. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, left hand to the left, right hand up and over. Breathe in, both hands up. Breathe out, right hand to right, left up and over. Breathe in, both hands up. Breathe out, left hand to the left, right hand up and over. This time we'll hold. So trying to focus on that right hip crease. It tends to prop up off the ground. See if you can press it into the earth so it's evenly rooted. Draw the right shoulder away from the ear, but keep reaching out through the right fingertips. Send your breath from the right hip crease all the way out the right fingers. Really focusing on the breath here. One more breath. Inhale. See if you can spread the ribs with your breath. Exhale. Inhale, both hands come up overhead. Exhale, take the right hand to the right side. Left hand comes up and over. Stretch the left side body. So pressing the left hip into the earth. And then let the inhale breath move from the hip crease on the left side all the way out through the left fingertips. So seeing if you can use the breath to actually create space between the ribs. Soften the left shoulder away from the ear and keep stretching out through the hand. Breathe in, both hands come up overhead. Breathe out, hands to your heart. Good. And then we'll come to tabletop, hands and knees. If you're sitting on anything, you can move it out of the way. Spread the knees wide here. Bring the feet together. And then take the seat back towards your heels. For child's pose, forehead comes to the ground. Walk the hands out in front of you. And then let the body relax on the earth. Connect with the breath here. So filling the belly with air as you breathe in, letting all the air go as you breathe out. So full inhales. See if you can bring the breath all the way up into the chest. As you breathe out, see if you can release all of the air from the lungs. One more breath just like this. And then walk the hands over to the left side. So they come off of your mat and you walk all the way to the left side of the mat. So a big stretch here on that right side body. So similar to what we did seated. See if you can keep the forehead on the ground. And then breathe in from the right hip crease all the way out the right fingertips. Again, using your breath to spread the ribs with air. Soften that right shoulder down. Bring it a little bit closer to the earth. Perfect. Inhale, walk your hands back to center. Pause here in the middle. Notice if you've created any more space on the right side versus the left. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Just become aware. And then walk your hands over to the right side of your mat, coming off of the mat a little bit. Perfect. Forehead can come to the ground. Leave space between your hands and your arms for your head and neck. And then breathe in from the left hip crease all the way out the left fingertips. Deep breath in. Spread the ribs with air. And as you breathe out, soften the left shoulder down. One more breath here. And then walk your hands all the way back to center. Pause here in the middle. Then just notice. Notice any freedom you've created in the body. Maybe freedom in the mind. And then take your hands underneath your shoulders. Straighten through your arms. Press into the palms of your hands. And then lift up. all the way up to tabletop position, hands and knees. Bring the knees to touch, curl the toes under. And then take your seat back on your heels. This can be a big stretch on the ankles and the heels there. So if it's too much, you can always just come to flat feet as well. Interlace your fingers. Thumbs come to touch, and then turn your hands, palms out in front of you, and inhale, reach them up overhead. So extending your arms up. Perfect. Softening the shoulders down. So this pose can be really great for the lungs. Actually, most of the poses we're doing tonight are really good for the respiratory system and the lungs. So seeing if you can really take deep breaths here, breathing in from the belly all the way into the chest. See if you can keep bringing your breath all the way up to the fingertips through the arms. But soften through the shoulders. Notice if you're holding any tension and see if you can relax that. Tone your abdomen. Draw the ribs in, but lift the chest up. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, unhook the hands, bring them to the ground, and then uncurl the toes. So the tops of the feet are flat on the ground, and come back to sit again on the feet. And then this time, interlace your fingers behind the back. So start with the fingers interlaced at the low back, and then see if you can walk them up to about mid-back. Draw the elbows closer together. They're not actually going to touch, but see if you can just get that energetic feeling of them moving closer. And then extend the hands out and back so that you're getting a stretch in the shoulders. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and lift up with the chest. Heart is coming open. So it's a back bend here, a heart opener. And then keep breathing. Breathe into the space between the shoulders. And then unhook the hands. Roll out the shoulders a little bit. Front, back. Notice how that feels. And then come forward, back in a tabletop position. Spread the knees about hip distance. So for reference, that's about 2 fists. Hands are coming underneath the shoulders, but then walk them about 1 handprint forward still. Curl your toes under. And then lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Push down with the index fingers and the thumb. Reach up and back with the hips. You can keep a slight bend in the knees to protect the hamstrings. I like to start off by bending one knee, so maybe bend the left knee, straighten the right, so that you notice the stretch on that right hamstring. And then bend the right knee, straighten the left. Breathe into the left hamstring. You can gently go back and forth a few times. And then at the bottom of the next exhale, push both heels back. Take 1 full breath in, fill the belly up with air. Full breath out, let it go. Look between your hands. Step the right foot forward, followed by the left, and fold forward. In the forward fold, see if you can keep a slight bend in the knees so that the low ribs are connecting with the upper thighs. Yeah, perfect. Let the head hang. So instead of kind of holding the head up a little bit, see if the neck can just totally release to gravity so that the head is hanging all the way down. Sometimes it's helpful to shake your head yes, shake your head no, so it releases. And then take your hands to your shins and then lift up about halfway. When you do this, see if you can keep your gaze fixed on the earth instead of looking forward, because that cranks your neck. And as you see, I can My spine is turning upwards. If I continue to look down, I have a nice long spine. So half lift here. Good. Deep breath in. Breathe out, fold back forward. We'll do 2 more like that. Breathe in, half lift, flat back. Breathe out, fold forward. Last one. Breathe in, half lift, flat back. Breathe out, fold. Perfect. And then take the hands to the hips and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, come all the way up to standing. And relax the hands down. Great. And then come to face the wide edge of your mat, so the long edge of your mat. Yeah. We're going to take a long stance. So open the legs up wide. Great. Point the feet forward so that the toes are facing that long edge of the mat still too. And then turn the right toes, and the feet are parallel here, but now we're going to turn the right toes out so that they're now facing the short edge of the mat. The right heel is going to bisect the back inner arch. So we'll check in with our alignment. The right heel is coming straight to the middle of the back foot. Perfect. Press down to the right big toe, and then you're going to bend that right knee. The right knee is coming directly above the right ankle. And then open the arms up into a T for warrior 2. Gaze can go over the right fingertips. Keep bending into the front knee. Look forward and see if you can see the front toes. If you can't see your right toes, that's your body's indication to maybe take a little bit longer of a stance. Tucking the tailbone under, reaching out through both arms. See if you can ground the left inner edge, or outer edge, sorry, the back outer edge of the left foot stays grounded. So the left leg is straight, and that's helping to lift the back arch. Good. Deep breath in here. Deep breath out. Take the left hand to the thigh behind you, and as you breathe in, flip the right palm, reach it up and overhead. And then reach back towards the back of your mats. This is reverse warrior. Drawing that right shoulder away from your ear. And then again, this is similar to what we've done in child's pose and seated. So you're breathing in from the right hip crease all the way out the right fingertips, creating space in the right side of the ribs, the right lung. Keep softening the right shoulder. Deep breath in, come all the way back up, warrior 2. Inhale out the right hand, and as you breathe out, take the right forearm to the right thigh. Reach the left hand up and over your head. So left hand is now reaching towards the front of the mat. Left shoulder softens away from the ear. You can either keep your right forearm on that right thigh, or if you'd like, you could bring the right hand down to the earth or a block. But if you come down, give yourself the freedom to come back up if that's not what serves your body. So really focusing and being in the body instead of the mind telling us we need to go to the next place, just noticing what's best for you. I tend to always hang out in the stop where you can have the forearm on the thigh because that's best for my body. Reaching the left fingertips forward. This is side angle pose or Parsvottanasana. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then take the left hand to the left hip. Take a deep breath in here. Press down through the right big toe. Breathe out. And then inhale, come lift your torso back up. Straighten through the right leg. And then turn the right toes so they're facing back towards the long edge of the mat again. And then we'll turn the left toes out so they're facing that short edge of the mat. Left heel is bisecting the back inner arch. And then take a bend in the left knee so that the left knee is coming over the left ankle. Left heel pressing down, left big toe pressing down. Inhale, reach the arms up into a T. As you exhale, soften your shoulders, Soften your eyebrows. Take your gaze over your left fingertips. Tuck the tailbone under. Keep bending into that left knee. Keep straightening through the back leg, pressing the outer edge of the right foot down into the mat, lifting that right inner arch. Checking in to see if you can see your left toes. If you can't, take a little bit longer of a stance. Deep breath in, reaching out through the fingertips. Deep breath out. And then bringing the right hand to the right thigh. Flip the left palm up. Take a deep breath in. And then reach the left hand up overhead as you breathe out. Soften the left shoulder away from the ears. Breathe from the left hip crease all the way out the left fingertips. Create space between the ribs. Keep pressing down with that back right foot. Reverse warrior or Viparita Virabhadrasana. Deep breath in. And as you breathe out, come all the way back forward. Warrior two, lift the torso, arms in a T. Breathe in here, reach out through the fingertips. As you breathe out, take the left forearm to the left thigh. Reach the right hand up overhead. So the right hand is reaching towards that short edge of your mat. Keep pressing down with the left big toe and the outer edge of the right foot. Keep drawing the right shoulder away from the ear. Keep breathing in through that right side body. You can either stay up on the forearm or you can take the left hand to the ground on the inner edge of the left foot or to a block. Notice what's best for your body. One more breath here. And this time as you inhale, press the left toe into the earth, reach the body all the way back up, hands come into a T, and then relax down at your side. Straighten through the left leg, point the left toes forward, and take a full breath here. Fill the belly up with air. Keep noticing that Ujjayi breath. Notice if you lost it. And then we'll take our hands to our hips for a wide leg forward fold. So pressing the outer edges of the feet into the earth, still lifting the heels. Take a deep breath in, lift through the heart. And as you breathe out, slowly start to fold forward. So coming about halfway and pausing here. So then notice the length from the tailbone out the crown of the head. Deep breath in. And as you breathe out, maybe fold a little bit more. Try to fold with a flat spine. So you can pause along the way and inhale more. Extend through the crown of the head. And exhale, allow that to bring you a little deeper. You can always keep a micro bend in the knees if you find that you have issues with hyperextending. That micro bend will protect the hamstrings. And then just keep grounding down through the outer edges of the feet. Yeah, really good. You can bring the hands to the ground. If it's comfortable, you can walk them back in line with the feet. Yeah. And then inhale, extend out from the tailbone, out the crown of the head. Pull the heart forward. Exhale, see if you can release the head close to the ground. Inhale for some length, again, from the tailbone, out the crown of the head. Exhale, folding more deeply. Good. Keep allowing that to move you deeper. Yeah, looking really good. Nice flat spines, perfect. One more breath here. And take the hands back to the hips. Keep rooting down to the outer edges of the feet. You can keep that micro bend in the knees. And as you inhale, slowly rise all the way up to standing. Going slow, because as we're upside down, you can get dizzy if you come up too fast. And then take the fingertips in towards the chest. The elbows are coming out wide. Bend to the knees as you breathe in. As you breathe out, either jump or step the feet together. Hands come down by the side. It's like a little jumping jack. Perfect. Take your hands to your chest, hands to the heart, Anjali Mudra, close the eyes for a moment. Feel the breath move from the feet all the way out the top of the head. From the top of the head all the way down to the feet. 2 more deep breaths like that. Allowing yourself to reside here in your body, allowing yourself just to be, noticing this energy that is you. Maybe any energy that's rearranged now from the start of class. Maybe any inner peace that's come out. And then you can softly blink open the eyes. And then we'll do a little bit of balance. So pressing down through the left foot, come up onto the right toes. Turn the right foot so that the right knee is coming open. So we'll set up for tree pose here. This is tree right here, where you're just staying very light on those right toes. Or you can walk the right foot up to the shin or the thigh. You just don't want it on your knee. What can help here with balance is finding a spot on the ground to focus your gaze on. As we focus the mind, as we still the mind, we can find more stillness in the body, more freedom. Your hands can either stay at your heart or they can reach up overhead. If you fall out, that is okay. That's part of balance. It's the dance of moving in, moving out so that we can move back in. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, bring the hands back to the heart. Keep pressing down, through the left foot. And then we'll see if we can take the right leg up and over the left thigh. It's crossing. And then we'll bend through that left knee a little bit. This eagle pose. You can either let that right foot just hang, or you can see if you can tuck the right foot behind the back calf. So our knees are locked here. So the right knee is directly over the left knee. There's no space in between. Yeah. Great. And what can help with balance too is you can keep the right toe touching the ground if that's better for you. So bend deeply in that left knee so that you're kind of lowering down a little bit. Perfect. And as you breathe in, open the hands up wide into a T. We'll take the right arm underneath the left, so crossing the arms, and then you can either just grab for opposite shoulders, or you can raise both arms up so that opposite, let's see, what are these called? Outer forearms touch, or you can interlace one more so that your inner palms are touching. It's gonna be big in the shoulder, so feel free to stop at any spot along the way. This is Garudasana, or eagle pose. Again, finding a spot to focus on. Breathing. Softening in the shoulders. Press down through that left foot. Unhook the hands. Breathe in, come up to standing. Both legs down, and then you can shake out the legs a little bit. Notice any tension that might have built up. And let it go. And then pressing the right foot into the earth, come up onto the left toes. Open the left knee up to the left, setting up for tree pose on the opposite side. So coming up lightly on the left toes, either working tree here, you can take your hands to your heart, or take the left foot to the right shin or the right calf. Or sorry, the right thigh. Just not on the knee, whatever's best for you. We don't want pressure on the knee because that can harm it. Finding a spot to focus your gaze. Either keeping the hands at the heart or growing your arms. Softening the shoulders. As you breathe in, imagine a strong tree. And then you can bring your hands back to your heart. Press down with that right foot. And then take the left leg up and over the right leg, bending into the right knee. The left toe can either just hang there, it can touch to the earth outside of the right foot, or you can see if you can wrap it so that left toe goes all the way around the right calf. Keep taking your seat back. If you want to do the eagle arms as well, you can inhale, bring your arms up into a T. As you exhale, take the left arm underneath the right. Either grab opposite shoulders, take the arms up, and touch outer forearms, or interlace one more so that the inner palms come to touch. Yeah, breathe into the space between the shoulders. Finding a spot to focus your gaze. Deep breath in. You should breathe out, unhook the hands, come all the way up to standing, gently come out. Really good. And then you can shake the legs. Nice. And if you're not facing that way, come to face the short edge of the mat. And we'll breathe in, reach both hands up overhead. Urdhva Hastasana. As you breathe out, fold forward, let the hands come to the earth. Touch the ground, Uttanasana. And then we're going to take our peace fingers, so our index and our middle finger come to touch, and then our thumb is open here. And then we're going to wrap the index in the middle in between the big toe and the second toe, and then take the thumb around that. So you're just doing like a grasp around that big toe. So the index and the middle finger wrap around the big toe. I can come closer. Yeah, you guys got it. Perfect. Yep, index finger, middle. As you breathe in, extend out through the spine. So from the tailbone out to the crown of the head, you're opening up through the heart. And as you breathe out, see if you can fold forward. Again, it's perfectly okay to have that slight bend in the knees. You want the low ribs to touch your thighs and all of the forward folds. So each inhale, find more length through the spine. Yeah, each exhale, see if you can bend the elbows more and draw the chest closer to the thighs. Let the head hang down. This pose and the next one we're about to do are really great for the lungs. These are like some of the most beneficial, according to BKS Iyengar in his book, The Light on Yoga. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Let the head hang. We'll do a few more breaths here. Continue to check in with that Ujjayi breathing. And as you inhale, gently release the grip. And then we'll do hand to foot pose. So you're going to keep the right heel on the ground, but you'll lift up the right foot. Take the whole right hand underneath the right foot. So that's with your right palm facing up. You're taking it underneath the right foot so that the right fingers are pointing towards the back of the mat and the thumb's opening up to the side. Your toes should come all the way up towards your wrist crease. And then you'll do the same thing on the other side. You'll lift the left foot, take the left hand underneath the left foot so that you're stepping on your left hand. The left toes are coming to the wrist crease. And then it's the same kind of thing here in this fold. So as you inhale from the tailbone out the crown of the head, find length. And as you exhale, bend through the elbows, let your body draw closer to the legs. Each inhale, find a little bit more length. Each exhale, find a little bit more fold. Let the head hang down. Yes, really good. So that your neck is not having to support it. Your neck is getting to be loose, free. Feel the belly expand against the thighs and contract. Great, and then one at a time, take the hands out. Walk the hands forward to the front of the mat. Walk the feet back to the back of the mat. Downward facing dog, push the hips up and back. And you kind of shimmy this out. And then as you breathe in, come forward to plank pose so that the shoulders are over the wrists. And this can always be done with the knees on the ground too. Deep breath in here. And as you breathe out, just come all the way down to the ground by bending through the elbows, coming onto your belly. Great. Take the hands back outside of the ribs. The hands are directly underneath the elbows, outside of the ribs. Draw the elbows in towards your body. So instead of the elbows hanging out, draw them in. Perfect. Let the feet go back long. Tops of the feet are pressing energetically, so moving without movement. Feel the palms of the hands pull back towards the toes. In order to inhale, lift the chest up. Keep drawing the shoulders back. Keep opening up through the heart, lifting the chest. For Cobra Bhujangasana. Deep breath in. Open up through the heart. Deep breath out. Lower back down to the earth. Then allow yourself to rest for a moment. Maybe take the right cheek to the ground. If it's comfortable, you can take the arms back behind you. Let your body rest. And then take the head back to center. Take the hands underneath the elbows again. Maybe shimmy them back about an inch or so. Press the hands into the earth. Lift the chest up. This time, if you'd like to go a little further, maybe you try to straighten the arms. Push down to the tops of the feet. Lift up with the heart. See if you can lift the thighs, lift the legs off of the ground. So upward facing dog, which is just our hands and the tops of their feet pressing. Yeah, see if you can open the heart more. Look up. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. So as if someone, really good. As if someone had a string on your heart, on your chest, pulling you forward. So that you're getting a big, deep stretch in that low back. Nice. And the legs are off the ground. Deep breath in. And as you breathe out, lower all the way back down, bending through the elbows. And then take the left cheek to rest on the ground. So you can take the arms back behind you. Allow yourself to rest. Take the feet back behind you, lift the feet off the ground, so just the knees are on the ground. Take a deep breath in here. As you breathe out, take the legs, the feet over to the left side. Inhale, take the feet back through center. Exhale, take them over to the right side. Go back and forth with your breath, windshield wiping. Breathe in, they come up. Breathe out to the left. Breathe in, they come up. Breathe out to the right. This is helping to release the low back. Great, and when you've done both sides, you can come back to center. And then take yourself over to your right side, fetal position. Pause here, and then press the hands into the earth, straighten through the arms, push your way up to a seated position. And then here we'll take the left leg out in front. The right foot is coming in towards the groin. Flex the left toes, or flex the left ankle so the toes are coming back towards your face. Yeah, great. I like to kind of move the flesh out of the way of my sit bones so that's kind of rocking my seat forward so that the actual butt, you're moving it out of the way. And then you'll sit up nice and tall from the tailbone out the crown of the head. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, start to walk the hands forward, start to fold forward. but do so with a straight spine. So you're inhaling, pulling the chest forward, exhaling, lowering towards that foot. Maybe you grab for the shin, the ankle, the foot, fold towards the left extended leg. Yeah, really good. So as if someone had that string on your heart again. As you inhale, the heart's coming forward towards the left foot. As you exhale, it lowers just a little bit. Yeah. So it does not have to mean this deep fold. Just that act of extension. And if it's more comfortable for the hands to come on the ground, that's okay too. Sometimes I find the hands on the ground gives me leverage to pull the chest forward more, but play with it, notice what's best for your body. Relaxing in the shoulders, relaxing in the jaw. As you breathe in, slowly walk the hands back, lift the torso upright. And then take the left hand over to that right knee. And the right hand comes back behind you. So the right hand is reaching all the way back. As you, then you're twisting over towards that right side. So as you inhale from the tailbone out the crown of the head, find yourself some length. As you exhale, twist, look over the shoulder behind you. Each inhale, find a little bit more length. Each exhale, find a little bit more twist. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, slowly untwist. And then take the right leg long in front of you. Bend the left knee, take the left foot into the groin and open the left knee up to the left side. Now we're flexing the right ankle so the toes are pulling back towards the face. If you need to move the flesh out of the way to kind of get your sit bones rooted again, you can do that. Find length in the spine as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, slowly start to fold forward by taking your chest forward first. So the chest is moving before the head. And as you exhale, the chest lowers towards the leg. Nice. Each breath in, pull the heart forward. Each breath out, lower just a little bit down. And by a little bit, it can just be like a very fraction of a bit. Yeah. What's more important is that straight spine. So both. You guys are looking great. One more breath here. As you breathe out, slowly walk the hands back, sit back up, and then take the right hand over to that left knee. The left hand is coming back behind you. Inhale from the tailbone out the crown of the head, find length in the spine. As you exhale, twist, look over the back shoulder. Each inhale, find a little bit more length. Each exhale, find a little bit more twist. And then try to focus on a straight spine. So instead of relaxing back into that left hand, see if the shoulders can be rooted over the tailbone and the head can be rooted over the shoulders. Yeah, great. Good. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Then inhale, slowly untwist. Take both feet together. The knees are opening up wide for Baddha Konasana, or bound ankle. Then start to kind of flap the knees up and down, kind of like butterfly wings. This just opens the hips up a little bit. And then find length in the spine again from the tailbone out the crown of the head, drawing the shoulder blades down. And then start to fold forward again, just moving forward with the heart. So that might mean not folding much at all, but it's really just having that straight spine. So the heart comes forward, out in front of you as you inhale, and then as you exhale, it lowers a little bit. For me, my hips are more open than my hamstrings, so I find a little bit more movement in a pose like this versus the pose before. We're just noticing what shows up in your body. The more that we can be present in this moment and be connected with our body, the more freedom we can find. The body, the mind, the soul. So not allowing yourself to judge or attach to any of these things. Just noticing, becoming scientists of our own body. And breathe in, slowly lift the torso back up, right? Take your hands outside your knees and gently pull them together. And then you can come down to laying on your backs. So the feet will be down, the knees will be up. And then we'll hug our knees into our chest. And then you can rock side to side if that feels comfortable. And then bring the feet back down. Take the knees up. And then the hands come long beside the body. Push the feet into the ground, and as you breathe in, lift the hips up, lift the hands up overhead. So the top of the inhale, the hips are fully lifted, the hands are all the way back behind the head. Yeah, so the back of the palms are resting. And as you breathe out, slowly lower the hips down, slowly lower the hands down. The fronts of the palms come to touch the ground. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the hands. So trying to see if you can time this all with your breath. So the back of the hands are pressing, opening the heart up. As you exhale, slowly lower the hips, slowly lower the palms. Breathe in, lift the hips, lift the hands, back of palms come to touch. Just keep doing this with your breath, and as you breathe out, slowly lowering. So allow this movement to really get you in touch with the breath. There's no right or wrong as long as you're doing this with your breath. So beautiful. The next time you find your hips lifted, the hands up overhead, leave the hips lifted, but lower the hands back down. Start to shimmy the shoulders. So shimmy one shoulder underneath the back and then the other shoulder underneath the back. And then you can either grab outer edges of the mat or try to interlace your fingers underneath your shoulders, depending on the openness of your shoulders. You'll do one versus the other. Press the feet into the ground, lift the hips up. Open up with the heart, the chest. Breathe. Notice that Ujjayi breath. Maybe if you intentionally stopped it, or notice if you unintentionally stopped it. Deep breath in, lift the hips a little bit higher. Open the heart a little bit more. And as you exhale, unhook the hands and really slowly, so vertebrae by vertebrae, lower the hips down so that the tailbone is the last thing to descend. And then hug the knees back into the chest. Open the knees up wide. So they're coming outside of the chest. And then take the feet up over the knees, so that the feet are pointing up towards the ground. You can grab either for the ankles here, or maybe for the outer edges of the feet. So for happy baby pose, yeah, try to keep the tailbone connected to the ground so that the low back is rooted. And you can push the feet into the hands into the feet. Yeah, so keep drawing the feet back so that eventually the feet are coming back over the knees here. Yeah, really great. And then, yeah, rocking side to side can sometimes be really nice on the low back, or you can find stillness, whatever's best for you. Opening up the hips. slowing the breathing. And then when you're ready, you can let go of the hands, draw the knees back into the chest to give the body a nice, tight squeeze. And then eventually letting both legs come long onto the mat, opening the legs up wide. Letting the arms relax long beside the body. Palms open up, face up. Shoulder blades drawing under. You can rest the eyes closed if that's comfortable, or keep a soft gaze. Anything to get yourself comfortable here. Allow the body to be completely heavy. We've put in effort in our body throughout class, using our breath, all for this moment. The whole point of the physical yoga practice, the asanas, is to find stillness, center, peace within the body, to allow yourself to just be. So let the body be heavy. Let the ankles relax. Let the palms relax, fingers soften. Nothing to do with the breath, nothing to do with the body. No muscles engaged. Entire body soft. And soften the eyebrows. Relax the forehead. Let the eyeballs rest in the sockets. Jaw releases tension. There's nowhere to be, nothing to do. Just simply be. Free. Peace. Shavasana. coming back to the breath. Coming back to the body, gently wiggling the fingers, the toes. Allow the eyes to remain closed if you'd like. Slowly awakening the body, maybe circling the wrists, the ankles. If it's comfortable, you can do a big stretch overhead. And eventually bending the knees, coming to rest on the right side, fetal position. Taking a breath here. Moment of gratitude, reflection. Then using the strength of your arms, push your way up to seated. Keeping the eyes closed. Coming back just as we started, noticing our breath. Breathing in, feeling the breath move from the base of the spine, up the crown of the head. You can keep the eyes closed. Just noticing the inhale, move up through the body, and the exhale, move you back down. As you inhale, you can think, I know that I am inhaling. And as you exhale, you can think, I know that I am exhaling. Focusing on the mind on these words, helping to give our mind something to do, so that our soul is more able to just be. As you notice the mind wandering off to other things as it does, just become aware and gently guide it back to this saying, I know that I am inhaling. I know that I am exhaling. We can do all of the things to try and find freedom, but freedom is not found by doing. Freedom is found by being. We must actively give ourselves a space to just be. And we must continue to practice this. So you can gently let go of this meditation technique and bring your hands to heart center. And then we'll end with one final Om. Deep breath in. Thank you so much for practicing, for joining me here. It's so great to see you all. The lights, the love, and all that is special in me honors that same lights, that same love, and that is special in you. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. So any donations for the class can be made through Venmo, which is at Jessica-Null-1.